Hey everybody, it's Walker at Full Spectrum Laser, and today we are talking rotaries. We get a lot of questions about what rotary you should get, what is the difference between the kind of rotaries. So we're going to break it down very simple, very straightforward today. So there are two types of rotaries. Essentially, we have our friction type, which means the object just sits on top and the motors make it spin. There are benefits and some pros and cons for these systems. One you saw is it can slip off. Slipping can occur if you don't have things squared up on your sort of friction rotary setup. So setup is very important. And a perfect, I guess, application for the friction rotary would be something like this. It's glass, it's extremely sensitive, very breakable. It's not something you'd want to put inside of a chuck rotary. And we have two different options. One is essentially, it just sits on top with a roller. And then we have our low profile rotary, which has two silicone rollers. And it's better for non-slipping. So it's not going to slip as much. Your objects are going to be in there pretty solid. So not too much slipping occurs. You really need to think about what your application is and what rotary you want to get. Also, you want to look on our website and see which rotary can you get with your machine. Some machines can only get friction rotaries, others can do both. So always check that out before you buy. All right, now let's talk chuck rotaries. Chuck rotaries are great because they actually hold your object. There's no slipping that's going to occur. Like this glass, it's glass, but it's going to be pretty good for this chuck rotary because it's got a thick bottom and it's pretty solid. Again, you wouldn't want to be doing something like a wine glass with a chuck rotary. But what's really cool is you simply change these, spin this until it like clamps on, or you can flip those clamps around and open them up so you're holding it from the inside. That's what's cool about the chuck rotary, at least this chuck rotary. We have an older chuck rotary for the P series that's going to be slightly different, and that just clamps down. So depending on what machine you have is what chuck rotary you can get. Now we have new chuck rotaries like this that go with our Galvo units and our Muse series. So you want to check that out. We do have chuck rotaries for the Muse 3D, Muse Core, and the Muse Titan. Not only will the chuck rotary have fingers like this, but it also has different accessories, like these little guys right here, that you can literally clamp in where these fingers go, and you can hold small objects like rings, small bracelets, something that's a little bit small and fragile. And one last thing I want to talk about is engraving objects that are sort of not flat in general. Something like this urn. This is obviously not a cylinder. It's not going to be the easiest thing to engrave. So technically we could put it on a chuck rotary, something like that. But ideally it's fairly heavy. If we wanted to, we can get the little rollers on here and sort of make it work. But ideally, if we're not wrapping around the object, our Galvo units have special software where you set this on here, you put the 3D STL file inside your machine, and the Galvo will automatically wrap the design to the shape of your object. So if your application is a little bit unique, a little bit different, the Galvo units without a rotary is the option for you. So if you have any questions, please put it down in the comment section. We'll get back to you, or call or email our sales team. And until next time, keep making.